Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Kyle Over's favorite tinfoil realist, not theorist. Voodoo, what's going on?
Dude, excited for today, man. Tell us about, or tell everybody about the amazing DeFi NFT legends on Fantom that we have on the broadcast today.
Dude, I'm excited for this one. You can't keep up with these guys. You get into Two Man's Auction House and these guys show up and it's like, oh, fuck, I'm out of here. So now we get to learn some of their strategies on how they fund this NFT journey.
So, are you going to tell us who they are? Now they're
Tweak.
on.
We
Now they're
got
on
Tweak in the
screen.
house. Tweak is a legend in the Fantom community. And Dan 90, another legend in the Fantom community. I think everybody in the NFT space on Fantom knows these two men. If you've participated in the Two Heads auction houses before, I think you know everybody in this room. But yeah, we're excited for this conversation today, guys.
Yeah, basically, if we start from the bottom right screen and just work our way over, we kind of have the order of who wins auctions if they bid. Um, So we've got this in a very strategic pecking order here. But hey, welcome to NFT Alpha as our first guest that we've had, and here to start us off on episode 2. But it's great that we forced Tweak to dox himself and get a camera, and Dan 90 wasn't having it. No, so welcome Tweak. So excited to have you, man. You got anything? Kick us off and say, or just want to introduce yourself to the
Uh,
crowd?
yeah, thanks for having me on your show. This is the first time I've done any shows like this, so we'll see how it goes. But uh, yeah, just a huge supporter of Fantom and the NFTs here.
Definitely. I mean, you don't have to say the exact number, but do you have any idea how many like NFTs you own? And I know we're probably talking like high-end NFTs, but do you keep track of
I
like how big your collection is, or you just keep adding to it?
so yeah, I don't know the exact number, but I know it's over 500, 600, and those are mostly auction stuff and yeah, it's a
So you
lot.
don't. So like I've got 500 or 600, but I think 300 are crypto worms, and so we might be on different playing fields there. But that's awesome, man. Well, welcome. So excited for the conversation we're going to have today, and for the alpha that you're going to be dropping. But also, Dan 90, welcome, man. Maybe a little lesser known in the community, just because Tweaks on Twitter, 24 hours a day, and you're more just like today, more in the shadows. But huge supporter of artists, huge supporter on the auctions, and obviously a huge DeFi degen with Fantom. So welcome, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Tweak actually introduced me to the NFT space. Um, just like everybody else, I started off with owning my first Bitcoin in 2017 and then had some XRP and then Ethereum. And then 2018 crash, I like lost everything. And then that's when I decided I was about to like call it and tap out. But then Tweak introduced me to Fantom like towards the end of 2018, and yeah, and here we are.
What a homie.
Wow. So number one, we did not all get started by owning a Bitcoin. Okay, like that's not all of our journeys. I owned a tenth of a Bitcoin. That was my start. But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I get what you mean. And getting started with Bitcoin, going down the rabbit hole. Man, I'm glad you moved from XRP to Fantom. That was a good life choice.
Oh yeah.
So tell me this: Tweak? That's crazy. 2018, getting into Fantom. What'd you buy in at, or what's the cheapest you ever bought Fantom at?
I started buying when Fantom was 0.006 cents.
Goddamn. Yeah, and like
So
let's get into like what were you doing back then? Because I bought into Fantom at like 17 cents, and there was really nothing to do. We had the Fantom wallet that you could stake on and move some shit around, but even like Spooky and Spirit weren't even really ready to go yet. Like, what were you doing with Fantom way back then, and how did you have such diamond hands to continue holding?
Well, it was the bear market, so that's where you really research your gems. And so my strategy was I'm going to find that one coin, not switch, between coins, you know, cuz that's where like I kind of messed up, the last bull cycle was just going from coin to coin. Um so I was going to really research it, find something with good tech, cheap, fast, and I just got lucky with Phantom. Um, but I was shorting Bitcoin. I mean, from like 17K on BitMEX. So that's kind of like what I was doing at that time, just that and researching.
So that's depressing because I got into Phantom at 40 cents. Um, and like that was like in August or September. So before it just made its, luckily I got in on KuCoin and then it made its run, and it's been awesome. But I literally got into crypto this last year, so it hasn't even been a year since I bought my first token. And Dan, I did not I did not start with Bitcoin. I very quickly went to Bitcoin, read about every book there is, starting with the Bitcoin Standard, which I highly recommend to anybody as a great starting point to understand, what this is all about. But I started by downloading Coinbase and then finding the very cheapest one and buying it. And the one I picked, I was sure was going to go to $1 and I was going to be rich. And so that was my start, just like 99% of retail is find the cheapest thing. But I went down the rabbit hole super quickly, got into DeFi, and I really wasted most of the year doing exactly what you said, Tweak, which was hopping from coin to coin, listening to whatever, the Twitter and YouTube influencers were saying was hot and was coming up, and just continually getting dumped on by them. And so it wasn't until I found Fantom, and then found, just the Twitter community of Fantom, and then found a few protocols that I really believed in, like Potluck and Liquid Driver and Tune, that I really was like, man, I'm here to stay. And now I'm just like a total, I still am huge believer in Bitcoin and its monetary value in the future and store of value. But I'm definitely 100% a fan of Maxi, like not taking my money anywhere else, just building here. So super excited. But um, so when did you all buy your first NFT? What got you into NFTs? Was your first one on Fantom? I'm assuming it was, since you got in so long ago. But what got you not only into it, but then into collecting NFTs? And Dan, you
So I
can
guess
start
I'll
first
go
if you want.
first. Oh,
Oh yeah, no, whichever one.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
So at first I mostly just held crypto just to like hold, and but Tweak showed me like the other side of crypto and he introduced me to like bridging and how to actually use my crypto. And then somewhere along the way, it evolved to NFTs. So he invited me to Tombhead's auction house. Um, I remember there was like a free mint on a Degenerate, and then yeah, that was like my first NFT I held. And
Oh, that's iconic. That's awesome.
yeah, so after that, I started attending more, and what I really love about like the auctions where got to like share their background, uh, share their lores on their arts, and then yeah, it's really interesting. And then I got to um, know about DeFi Dino project, took some interest in that, and yeah, bought my first NFT. It was a DeFi Dino.
That's awesome. Which number did you get? How early on was it, just starting, or um, do you remember which was your first one you bought?
Yeah, can't remember the number, but it was like a dark like dino with like red
How many
eyes and
how
horns.
many do you own now?
Dinos like about
Yeah,
five or
yeah.
six.
Nice.
Dino whale over here. You know, So we love Dino King. I think he's one of the best people in the community, especially like, I mean, just a beacon in the NFT space. And he's like going forward. They're partnering with Potluck Labs as far as helping continue to build it out and moving beyond just the one-on-ones, doing the generatives and some other projects. So super excited for for that partnership. So just saying that so that you'll be there for the mints, okay, to support him.
Yeah, yeah.
Need that Dan 90 wallet at our mint parties. Um, all right, Tweak, what about you, man? What got you into NFTs? Obviously, you probably had a lot of Phantom to burn. So,
Yeah, I had the extra Phantom. But my first NFT was the Ancestral Uman mint. So I got in, day one for that. But then I really wasn't into NFTs, and I was showing my fiance the NFTs, and so I showed her the Zoo Marketplace, and she was just kind of flipping through stuff she liked, and it was Varnarka's first week, and she's like, "Oh, check out this Devilish collection," and I was like, "Let me get one." You couldn't get one, so I like had to research it, and then found out about tomb heads, and then ever since then I just started getting more involved with NFTs and collecting them. But it was all, Uman and Devilish.
dude, that's awesome. Those are two
That's a
great
great start.
collections.
That
Yeah.
was a great start.
I wish I could tell you that my first pieces were like that iconic, but they were not. They were not that way. I don't even want to mention them here. So, Tinfoil, what was your first NFTs? Like, what got you? Obviously, you're
So
now like so hooked, but it wasn't always that way.
yeah, well, it's funny. We're gonna be talking about this later, but GameFi is what actually got me into NFTs. Having my little brothers grow up just buried in the iPads and Roblox and Minecraft. That's kind of how I got into kind of the shit coins and stuff. I was a Bitcoin maxi. So the idea of NFTs being in-game assets that were then tradable back into dollars, like that was a huge concept for me. So Axie Infinity, I bought an Axie Infinity team of three of these little characters for $35 a piece. Um, yeah, those were my first NFTs, and then I got into Zed Run, so another kind of GameFi betting aspect. Uh, but for first kind of collection NFTs, I found the Bit Humans on Fantom. That was my first like kind of mint experience, and to have a mint experience on Fantom like was kind of crazy because then I went back to Ethereum to join in on some of these mint experiences, and all of a sudden you're having $650 gas wars, and it's like what the NFT is only supposed to be $70.
Yeah. So, was that what brought you to Phantom in the first place? Your first experience with Phantom was that?
Uh, that was my first like. So I got into Fantom because it was a just a video of Cronier was doing some interview, and it was about Yearn, but there was a little 2-minute section where he went on a little tangent about this Fantom blockchain that was this DAG and was supposed to be scalable, all this stuff, and it was all from that little interview. I used to listen to a bunch of podcasts. I would listen to a Bankless podcast where they talked about the Badger DAO team. Basically, brought up the concept that they did all their testing on Fantom mainnet, and that Fantom's blockchain is basically your favorite blockchain's favorite blockchain. Uh, and that was kind of the eye opener for me, where I was like, okay, I'm going to put as much capital as I have as possible into Fantom. But again, like as I was asking Tweak earlier, there wasn't fucking shit to do. You could only basically stake Fantom in your F wallet, but then Spooky Swap popped up, and it was like, oh, there's something there. Uh, and it's funny because looking back on it, the moment Spooky Swap popped up, it was like, I could see this Dex getting into NFTs one day. And
And
that's
you were
kind of the
right.
journey. Yeah.
That was your Nostradamus start to NFT predictions, right?
I should have minted a Magic Hat.
Yep. All right, let's shift a little bit because the reason we wanted you two on is because I believe, and you all can kind of give your thoughts on this as well, but I believe that one of the huge, and Tinfoil and I talk about this a lot, that one of the big reasons that people come to new blockchains and come to crypto in general is for NFTs. And it's really just all about discovering them. And I have a strong belief that when people come to Fantom, whether if it's coming for an NFT collection, and then they experience the minting process, the cheap transaction fees, the speed of the network, and then the community of Fantom, whether that's on Twitter, the Discords, that they stay for those things. They stay for the community. They stay because of the experience, but the art draws them in, and not just art, but also the GameFi and um, so you have a whole group that comes over for that, but then you also have a group that comes over like I did, which they come for the DeFi, and they come to make money on DeFi and make money yield farming. And then just like it sounds like just like the two of you, once they start making a lot that way, they decide, oh yeah, hey, I'd like to do something with this. And then it's not just buying the NFTs, but it's supporting the artists and the community involved and the fun experience of like the Tombhead auctions. And so, what are your strategies that have really, besides just getting in early? Because I know that's a strategy that I still feel like we're very early, so I still believe that that's a viable strategy on most anything on Fantom. But what are the strategies for compounding your Fantom gains that you use to then buy the NFTs? Because I know Tweak, you've told me this, and I'm assuming it's probably the same with Dan 90, that you basically use the yields, not all of them, but you use your yields from farming to then buy NFTs. And if the yields aren't there, or if your money's locked up, your tokens are locked up, you're not buying that week. And so I want people who are newer, even on the smaller end, maybe they're just looking to participate in the Potluck Labs mints that are coming up. And it's not some big, huge sale, but maybe it's 35 Fantom or 25 Fantom. And I want them to feel like, man, I know I've got strategies that will produce this on a week in, week out basis. And then I can use those yields to farm. So,
All right, you want me to go
Yeah.
yeah, Tweak
first?
first,
Okay.
and then Dan, because
Yeah. We can start.
Yeah, to me, it's extremely important to balance the books. Always check out, it's not the dollar amount, it's the phantom amount, because I already believe
Mm.
in, phantom. It's going to be whatever price it is. I'm not selling today, so I don't think that matters, but it's just keeping track of my portfolio, making sure, like, the value in what, I like is maintained. And the way I do things is, I mean, I keep it simple. I found, Tomb Finance. They're backed and financed by Harry. It's a great opportunity to farm yield. And, especially with Tomb, it's 1-to-1 to Phantom. So it's like you're staking Phantom, and those rewards easily cover, NFT purchases. I think like 2 weeks of Tomb farming equals 1 year of Phantom staking, which is insane.
Wow.
Um, so for me, I don't like to take a lot of risk, but that if you last 14 days in Tomb, then you've already, you know, made up a full year. And then
so do you
I
farm? Sorry to interrupt. Do you farm
yeah,
directly? How do you split it up to mitigate risk? Do you do it all on Tomb site, or do you do it some on Reaper or another compounder?
I
Because I know,
just do Reaper.
yeah,
I
I'm the
know
same
there's
way.
various strategies where you collect T-share by plugging it into Tomb, and they're all valid, but I just like how Reaper auto compounds, gets it bigger and bigger, so your rewards grow too.
Yeah, definitely. So Reaper.farm, none of this is financial advice, do your own research. We're not responsible for exploits and things, but I feel personally, I love the Byte Masons team behind Reaper. I think that they are security focused first. I listen on FTM alerts a lot, and just they're super focused on security. And so that makes me feel good. Doesn't mean it's every single protocol in DeFi carries its own risks. If you're newer to the DeFi side, maybe you're listening to this because you're into NFTs and you're getting into these things. Um, what Tweak just mentioned is a strategy that when you look at the different yields available, even on Reaper, you're going to find ones with bigger yields. You're going to find things that look like, man, this pays 1 billion% interest. But the reality is, there's their own risk. There's the risk of those tokens going down in value because of the extremely high emissions that come with producing that interest rate. So typically, when I look at the different coins to stake, I'm looking at what has an interest rate that looks sustainable. And I think why Tweak and a lot of us love the FTM Tomb pair is that they are pegged, which means they're basically gonna follow each other. So you don't have impermanent loss, but also you're not worried about this token is paying so much in emissions, it's going to go down the tube because it's made to just stay with Fantom or actually grow a little bit against Fantom. So just want to put that out there because when I got into Fantom, I literally would go on different sites, not going to name them, but I go on different yield farming, compounding sites, and I just saw like, okay, this one pays 4% a day. I mean, this one pays, that's like 1,000,000,000% a year compounded. I'm doing that. And then within a week, whatever I put in is worth nothing because the emissions were so much and the sell pressure was so much that the token value went to nothing. And I see that same mistake by about every single new person to DeFi. And so I just want to point that out. But Dan 90, you're Tweak says you're the wizard at DeFi, and you told us yesterday when we were planning this 3 strategies that you really like, or 3 protocols that you like. And I know there's probably more, but if you want to share those, I'd be super happy for our audience to hear it.
Ears
Yeah.
open, ladies and gents.
So to me, the best strategy and the most sound strategy is protecting your capital. Super important because like you can make like a bag here, a bag there, but then at the end of the day, if you're unable to protect your capital, then it was all for nothing, right? So best practices is always um, the best and sound strategy. So make sure you have like a ledger. Don't share your seed phrase. Make sure double check wallet address if you're like sending stuff from wallet to wallet. Um, yeah, that's one of them. Second one would be um, pick a project that you're like that you like, a small market cap, ideally, because usually low capital uh, has the most impact on small market caps. But also do a lot of like research on that one project to see its potential. Because it's usually with low market cap projects, it's extremely high risk. But if it does blow up, then you've pretty much 10x'd your initial investment, right? Um, as far as like yeah, that's like going into like in a bull market. But now like if you're trying to prepare for like bear market, it's always nice to have a bit of stable coin on the side. Me personally, I looked into MIM. I like the MIM and Fantom pair on Reaper.farm. So one strategy that I could share with you guys would be um, you can wrap your Fantom and then deposit it in Yearn, and then you get uh, YF, uh, YF FTM, and then deposit that into MIM protocol and borrow MIM against it. And then from there, split up the MIM into FTM and pair it with MIM, and then provide liquidity in Reaper, so that way you can hedge against like uh, the downside of the market. So that way you have some stable on one side and you have Fantom on the other side. So that way you can like hedge. And once you anticipate like the market is about to bounce or rebound again, then you can split it up and then you can allocate your MIMs like wherever you want. Um, Second project that I like is Tomb Finance. Me and Wes were me and Tweak were extremely huge on Tomb
Oh,
Finance.
shoot.
Doc.
Yeah. So so yeah, I like the idea how Tomb is like pegged to Fantom. So but of course there's smart contract risks. Do your due diligence. Make sure um, you allocate your funds properly. But if you feel like you've over invested in like one protocol, uh, to sleep a little bit better at night, maybe take a little bit of profits, set it on the side, and allocate it to like a different wallet. Um, yeah.
What
Now,
about
it's really important if you're like on Tomb Finance, to understand like how the um, protocol works. So if Tomb is under peg, you buy Tomb and then convert to T bonds. You don't have to like send all your Tomb to T bonds, but you could keep a little bit of Tomb on the side so you could still like LP. And then when it's above peg again, you can like get some T shares and then print some more Tomb and then make your LP bigger. So uh,
So below peg it's T bonds, above peg it's T shares.
yeah, above peg is T shares and um, below peg is T bonds. And yeah, T bonds is extremely underrated. Um, with the anticipated release of Felix Exchange, there uh, Harry said that you earn like 2x um, airdrop on Fanti tokens.
Hmm.
Let me ask you something real degen. Um,
Yeah.
Either one of you can answer this. What do you think about all these tomb forks coming up? Because I personally, I don't know enough about it, but it seems to me that a big reason Tomb is successful is because of Harry and the money and the backing. And what worries me about Tomb forks, because that's the new thing. It was Ohm forks,
Yeah.
and that popped up every other day. And now, literally, I'm seeing 2 to 3 Tomb forks a day popping up on Phantom. And so, in general, I would caution people about forks that pop up and the security risk and all that. But just in the viability of any of these lasting, do you think that there's a true competition against Tomb with that, or do you think it's a fad that will come and go? And Tweak, you're already shaking your head over there. So
I
Mm.
mean, I don't think that they're going to like compete with Tomb. Like Tomb Finance before Harry got in was I mean, the protocol itself is still actually pretty good at balancing itself. So, um it was doing it for a while until there was a gatekeeper exploit, and that's when it really crashed and Harry came in. Um but now, so I don't think that they're all scams, but you always have to be wary. Like, how are they distributing their Tomb fork? Do they have all the supply? Because at the end of the day, the developer could have, all the tokens and dump on you, you know, and you just have to really do your research with them. And, they're just not as secure. They could be
yeah,
very, very profitable. So I'm not denying that, but just, when you're looking at blue chips like Tomb, it's backed by so much that, you could feel more secure putting your money in. And the others are more risk, but potentially more reward. But you better do your research and make sure that the person on the other end who made it, who if they're anonymous, then you really don't know.
awesome.
They could just dump on you.
Yeah, no, I agree. And for time's sake, I want to throw out two other strategies that I use, and then we'll hop into our next session where we'll do like our 5 minute, kind of going through different topics. Got 5 minutes, we'll rapid fire things. So another big strategy that I love is Liquid Driver. On Liquid Driver, you can they're an automated market maker, and so you can farm there and earn Liquid Driver, but also you can earn some other tokens as well. Some of the farms have like Liquid plus Spirit or Liquid plus another token. But what I love about Liquid Driver is just locking up my Liquid Driver for 2 years, and then creating passive income. And it's been very profitable. Now, what may stink is if you want to make like a good quick profit, that's not what this is for, because in the last month, I think we did like a 20x on my locked up tokens, and I can't sell them. But the income I'm getting, the interest is paid daily in different tokens, and so it creates an awesome daily. I mean, it's paying over 100%, and it just did a 20x. And so, if you're looking for passive income that you can use to then buy NFTs, that's a great method. And then also at Potluck Protocol, I love farming Fang and Phantom. It pays out in Fang, and it's a small protocol, so obviously there's more risk, but there's also more reward in that. And just in the last 3 months, it's been nice steady growth from 33 cents to about 3.50 right now, almost $4 before Phantom just took this last dip. But yeah, so that's been super profitable and incredible growth against Phantom. And so that's the strategy. I just do that on Potluck Protocol, but we also have one of the Gauge farms on Spirit. And so if you got some in Spirit and you're looking for which farm should I allocate that to, allocate it to the to the Fang Phantom farm. We need some more in Spirit whales put in that, so we get some more interest there in these Spirit wars going on. But if you guys, we'll have another part here where you can give another DeFi play in our 5-minute section. So if you got any other plays that you want to talk about, we can do it there. But we'll go ahead, plot twist, and hop into this. So Gen 2 projects. Tinfoil, we got so many Gen 2 projects coming up for Potluck. I'm a little excited, man. Talk about the ones that you're most. I mean, I guess we're most excited about all our babies, but we love them all. But what are you excited about? What do you think people should be doing right now?
Well, for me, I mean, the one aspect is you got to make sure you got pigs, because of all there's shit that we're not telling you. Like again, it goes back to the idea of we're trying to bring as much fucking value as possible. So when you buy one of these fucking $50 NFTs, you're going to be delivered more than $50 worth of value. So there's a bunch of surprises that we're not like telling you about when it comes to just fucking hold your peace, because something's going to show up in your wallet one day. For me, I'm most excited about the Gen 2 creatures, dude. I'm just such a fan of Hex and Nimbus, and to see what they're creating and this little competition that's kind of going on, like this Gen 2 is going to be fucking insane when it comes to art quality. You posted a link the other day to one of the pictures, and it was like, how the hell is this a generated piece of art? Like they look like one of ones. So I'm super excited about that quality.
I literally, if Hex didn't do the Zombie Society generatives, I would literally be questioning how it's even possible that he can
Yep.
make generative. But with Zombie Society, it's the same thing. How could these pieces that are 15 Phantom or whatever they were going for, how could this possibly be generative? Because they all look so unique. They look perfect. And they don't look like you could, typically in generative, it's like, okay, obviously this thing has a hat and the hat changes every time. And this thing has it, but all of his look so unique. So I'm super excited with that. But also, Tweak, you're going to have to be, and Dan, I don't know, Dan, do you have any septas? Have you picked up any of his?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay. So SEPTA is doing 2 pieces, just like the ones he auctions. No, they're going to be just as epic one of ones. And one's going to be a mutant, like the King Mutant, and one's going to be a zombie. And those are going in the mint. So people are going to have a chance at 20 Phantom to mint
a SEPTA. A one of one SEPTA.
I wonder what that's going to go for on secondary.
I know that you literally buy them at 2K FTM in the auction house and then sell them like within the week for 4K FTM.
Yeah, he's the most liquid, and other artists would sell, but like Tweak doesn't list his devilish ones, so I mean they're not gonna. There's no market for him. There's no aftermarket when he buys them. But Tweak definitely. I mean, Septa definitely has. As far as a high-end artist right now, he has the most liquidity for holders. I mean, you can literally buy it, sell it the next week if you want, and make a huge profit, or you can just hold it because they're like the sickest art out there. But so we got that. Then we have Aspen, incredible 3D artist, filmmaker, who is. I'm just going to say this: he's working on a project that's he's working on some things, the serums and things for Gen 2, but he's working on a project that if you hold our projects, you might benefit. And so little alpha. So the pigs, we got the bats coming. We got the bats. Gen 2 is the bats. It's the artist for Tomb, Aradia Luna. She does all the Tomb Finance artwork. She does basically like Harry's artist, does everything for them. She's incredibly talented, incredible at 3D art. and she's making the scariest looking bats that will give you nightmares. So if you thought, man, these pigs are a little too nice, a little too friendly for me, well, the bats are gonna be awesome. And I don't know how you guys are into bestiality and breeding different animals, and personally, I'm not a fan in real life, but the bats and the pigs tweak, they're going to be breeding, and they're going to make little batlet babies. And so you can do anything on Fantom. You can do anything you want. So tweaks, no comment there. No comment. So anyways, you got to own those. It's going to be good. Bot Squad llamas. We already know the floor has dipped on those. And I will tell you, pick up one off the floor. I saw the floor for the Bot Squad llamas was down to like 11 Fantom. Now it's pretty thin. There's only a few, and then it goes up quite quickly. There is something in store for holders just of the Bot Squad llamas, in addition to Gen 2, Gen 3, some whitelisting things, but there's something in store for you. You're gonna want to hold one or multiple. So I would sweep that floor today before the price skyrockets. And then Splarg, his upcoming, Psychedelic Faces, I think was absolutely incredible. The apes that he's doing with Codcar are going to be unbelievable. I don't want to share too much. There's just so much alpha on these projects. There's so much. But I think the surprise for our holders is what's going to raise the floors a lot. So if you're a holder and you're worried about floors slipping, which every project you're kind of wondering, should I sell now or what? Because of all the free things we have in store, because of the advantages that we have planned for people who are holding, and this is in the near future, you're going to want to hold. Don't sell. Don't sell at a loss. That's for sure. And so super excited. So let's go on to DeFi strategies. Dan 90, I know you had one or two others that you might have that we talked about yesterday. We didn't get through all of them. So do you have a strategy of the week or a different strategy that you'd like to give people? I think we're just always going to have this section to give people a DeFi strategy of the week, that if they're new to DeFi, they can kind of just take this and run the play.
Yeah, I kind of missed C. Miller's comment. I apologize for that, C. Miller. The way how T-bonds work is when you buy it under peg. So if, let's say, Tomb was like 0.95, and then if you use Fantom to buy Tomb at 0.95, you're getting it for 5%, like kind of like 5% discount off of like Fantom if it was like 1-to-1, right? So if you redeem your T-bonds, if like the TWAP, which is an acronym for time weighted average price, if it's like 1.1, that's 18% premium on your T-bond redemption. So to me, how you calculate it, it's like every 0.1 above TWAP, just add 18%. So if it's 1.2, it's 36. 1.3, add another 18% off 36. That's how you get your premium.
That sounded very intelligent, and I'm going to need like a graph. I'm going to need something to like put in my wallet to just pull it out every time I'm like, hey, I need the Dan 90 chart, to do it. Hey, isn't there? Maybe we can
There's
link
a
it in the show
calculator.
notes.
Yeah,
There
there's
was
a
like
calculator for the T-bond
I
that
know
I
there
could
is.
share.
Yeah,
Yeah.
share it in the chat if you got it, or the link to it. But I was thinking also, I don't know if you've seen this tweak or Dan 90, or maybe you've tweeted it before, but a couple months back, or maybe a month ago, I saw an infographic thing that somebody made that's like literally what to do on Tune. So it's like what you said earlier, Tweak. It's like, here's a picture of, if it's below peg, buy this. If it's above, do this. And it was just like the whole circle. And if somebody has that in the chat, or one of you, if you could tweet that, share it in the comments, share a link to it, that would be super helpful, because some of us just need a picture. Some of us just need a little help. And so
Tweak, I just noticed, is that a clockworky hanging behind you?
Oh yeah, 2 of them.
Oh, nice. I just kind of spotted the Fantom logo there.
just some
I have
casual
2
clockwork.
framed, and then there's actually another one
wow.
up in the corner.
Wow. Nice.
That's awesome. I see. Awesome. So Tweak, do you have
Nice.
do you have another DeFi strategy for us? Or do we want to let Dan keep going and tell us a different one?
Um, I know a couple others. I know some people will fold their loans, so they'll lend out their assets, then borrow it back, lend it out, borrow it, and then you earn interest on all your loans that you took, and then they'll use that and put into other DeFi. And you got to really know what you're doing when you're playing with loans and stuff, but if you're willing to take a risk, or you feel like it's time to do it, then that's definitely a degen strategy.
Yeah, and
That
then
sounds
also
pretty
to
deep.
add to that, another Tomb Finance like strategy too is when when we're under peg, right? T-share does absolutely nothing. So that's when you can have the opportunity to collateralize your T-shares if you don't want to sell it. So you put us you would put it as collateral and then borrow like my against it. And the website that I use is market.xyz, which is posted on Tomb Telegram chat. So you could borrow my against your T shares and then buy more Tomb for T bonds to bring that peg up.
Hmm.
Or if feel more comfortable just holding Tomb and LPing, that helps out too. So that way, at least some way, uh, you'd be helping with contributing to the peg, and at the same time, uh, getting the benefits from the protocol as well. So that's
Awesome.
that's one of the strategies that I like to use, and you would want to like mitigate like risk too. You don't want to leverage too much to the point where like you're forced in a position to like have it like where you have to sell like what you borrowed for a loss to like and scramble
Yeah.
to
So
like pay back like, your loan.
what is that ratio for you? So what Dan and I was talking about is when you take a loan out, there's like the limit that they'll let you do, which is very close to liquidation, and some of you degens do that. Then
Yeah.
there's like 50% or less. Like, what is a level that you feel like, especially when you're dealing with T shares, those type of things? What's a level that you feel comfortable borrowing against? Like,
For beginners, if you're starting off, I would start off with like maybe 10% to 30%. Um, T-shares is extremely volatile, so to reduce volatility, what you could do is you could collateralize your tomb, right? Because tomb is not as volatile. So if you add tomb to the mixture, then you would dilute the volatility off of T-share. So if T-share drops by a lot, you still have tomb, which isn't as volatile as T-share. So your chances of getting liquidated isn't as likely if you were to just collateralize T-share by itself.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
good advice. I thought he was going to say, like, if you're a beginner, 40%, no, 10 to 30. Okay. 1090s. Go back to rule number one. Don't lose your coins. Don't lose your money. So that's his first investing strategy. I think that's why he's achieving wealth on Fantom, smart
Yeah, it's
about it.
huge. Yep.
Awesome. Well, let's go to GameFi. 10, let's talk about it. I mean, I just read a few tweets today, and they were like pictures from Discord on the Fantomon trainers and the Fantomon
Bro, I'm
project.
so excited. I'm about to read them out. I got it
Yeah,
locked and loaded right here. So
please
I'm
go ahead because I'm fired up, but don't even know what's going on. It just looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm so excited for GameFi. It's about time that we finally had some cool shit work coming to light. So Larkin just posted on Twitter today. If you're in the Fantom on Discord, we want to make sure everyone has a crystal clear expectations for mint date. So what will you be able to do on mint day? So you will be able to select your trainer as your character. You'll be able to mint as many Phantomons as you like using that trainer. The price will be 15 FTM each. You'll feed your Phantomons any foods that are on the menu to level them up. Certain Phantomons can morph at level 50. And each time a Phantomon reaches level 50, or sorry, 25, 50, 75, or 100, you gain 1% royalties on secondary sales of that card for life. You can mix certain foods at the gunk mixer to create other high-grade foods, perform trainer Fantomon interactions, which will impact the kinship flare stats. View and inspect all your Fantomons to see all the details. So you're not going to be able to do any fighting and stuff yet, as arenas need to be built, but you'll be able to mint Fantomons with your trainer. You'll need a trainer to mint these things. But this whole thing about feeding your Fantomons to level, so I think that thing is so cool. The idea that you are taking a token, burning a token, changing the on-chain stats and attributes of your NFT, which then adjusts the rarity of your NFT. So now if you get it to certain levels, now you've set yourself a royalty in the secondary sales of that card for life. And in GameFi, you know, it's Water and Larkin talk a lot about how it's going to be continuously building new generations of trainers and Fantomons, because GameFi is all about building a user base. So you're going to have, you know, Gen 5 trainer cards in a couple years from now. What happens to these Gen 1s that you've leveled up and are now earning secondary sales on? You know, when there is 30,000 people playing this game. I'm so fucking bullish on Fantomons. It's ridiculous. I'm so excited for this mint.
That's awesome. And I'm excited. Like while you were talking, I got on the website and was like harvesting because I realized I haven't done that in a while. And man, I have a lot of ink gunk and whatever these
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. And they just moved all of their LP pools over from Sushi to Spirit. So any of the gunk tokens you can LP with Fantom. And now it's figuring out farming partnerships and stuff like that. I was looking at the floor on Fantomons today. This is probably it is the fastest 10K collection to sell out on Fantom, and all 10K are above the 10 FTM mint, which is just incredible. So yeah, super bullish on Fantomons.
What about 1090? I know you're big into GameFi. What GameFi, like what games out there excite you on Fantom? Are there upcoming ones or the ones you're enjoying right now? You know, what are you into?
Yeah, I have some Phantom Citadels and a couple Phantom waifus. I staked them on Emperor Dao, and what I really like about it is you're able to like stake your Magic Cats and stake your other NFTs that they um, that they have as the category, right? When you stake them, you earn resources in which you can craft like items, in which you can sell for their protocol token, which was Ducat. You could buy Ducat on Spooky Swap to like buy materials to craft the items, and then you can sell the items in their marketplace. Or yeah, there's a lot to do there. Usually I just do like a daily, once a day, because usually when you like harvest, it's a 24-hour cooldown. So I just harvest like once a day, and yeah, and I check
And
back in from time to time if there's like any like new updates. So pretty
there's
cool.
there's a lot
that
of
I get to
NFTs that
use
you
my
can stake
NFTs.
over there.
Yeah,
Yeah, like because they've got Scullies and Nightmare Demons, Ancestral
yeah,
Umans, Pepe Knights. Like there's a lot of different NFTs that they've tapped into that are giving a utility to them.
yeah. So yeah, I like being able to like use my NFTs, like put it to work, you know. So pretty sure you guys feel the same way. So I, yeah, just some utility out from it.
Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. There's another project coming out soon. We'll probably talk about it more next week, but it's the Baubles NFTs, and they've got some really cool partnerships already. And on the Phantom side, including Phantom Punks, some other projects that they're going to be using their GameFi, but essentially by holding these NFTs, you're going to receive Bauble token emissions, and you're going to be able to use those emissions in different games. I think also to be able to buy merch for projects and a bunch of stuff. But we're excited We haven't ironed out all the details yet, but we had a great call last night, and we're excited about one of the first games that you're going to be able to use the Bobble token for. That Potluck Labs is going to be participating in some game nights with our projects, and I think it's going to be really exciting. So that mint, I think, is in a couple weeks, and excited about that, and just some of the. I mean, there's just so much coming on Fantom. I mean, there's literally, we could talk for an hour just on GameFi. And one of our episodes needs to be that soon.
Yeah.
Um,
The Lost Kingdom is one I have to mention, as it might. I think it's going to be one of those projects that brings some people over from other chains. It's probably going to be our most elaborate GameFi project so far, and that's dropping soon.
Exciting. Can't wait. That's one that I need to learn more about. I mean, I've seen the art, and the art looks awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm excited
Stephen
about that.
Vinyl's doing the music, and I'm super bullish.
And Stephen Vinyl could work for like any movie in the world. Could make the music. Like that guy can do some scores. So excited that our 8-bit nostalgia land has custom music on the outside, the inside, when you interact with our app on there, all by Stephen Vinyl. So really excited about that. He's awesome. All right, let's talk underrated artists. Tweak, we'll start with you. This is the opportunity to pump your bags and talk about who your favorite. Just kidding. I mean, I feel like every Fantom artist is underrated because their user base is still so small here in our NFT little world. But who are some artists? Maybe they're new, maybe they've been around, that you just feel like, man, people need to know about these because they are awesome.
Yeah, like you said, I think every artist on Fantom's kind of underrated right now, and we're getting in before, the NFTs could blow up, I don't know how many unique wallets with NFTs, but it's not very much when you compare it to Ethereum, you know. And once they blow up, I think it's going to be really profitable for people. But you just got to have patience and wait for the people coming because Phantom's growing so fast. But um, personally, my favorites are, Barnarka, Septa, Clockworky, but some underrated ones. I think Heian Lee, you know, is kind of slept on. And then I brought over a professional artist, Consume. He's also very good. He was making money selling art, before NFTs, and he's been doing this for decades. And so it's cool seeing him over in the Fantom network. And then Aspen, that's another one. He's a huge deal, very involved with video works, and you just see some of his art. It's mind blowing. And yeah, there's a few others, but I always tune into Tombheads to see who's the up and comers, and I just love NFTs from an art perspective. I like art.
Yeah. I had never paid real money for art in my life. Like never gone to a gallery and bought something. I mean, never even went to Walmart and bought a picture. Like my wife handled that. She decorates the house and things. So art was never something I mean, never really appreciated until I got into this space. I think it's like Dan90 said earlier. I think it's about hearing the artists, hearing from them, learning their stories, and just like the worlds they're creating with their art, and that's where you really learn, I think, to appreciate it. And so I've really enjoyed that. I feel so sophisticated with my skull or with my skellies in the background here and my limit break somewhere. I just keep getting physical sent to me, and my wife won't let me hang them on the walls, so they're in temporary spots. um, awesome. Dan90, who do you think's underrated? I mean, you're in the Tombhead auctions. I know that's your primary place to purchase. Any artists that weren't named by Tweak that you're bullish on besides everybody?
I don't have a personal favorite. I think every artist like has a special quality in their art that everybody has their like eyes on, that appreciates it, because value is in the eyes of the beholder, and that's what I truly and firmly believe. So Um, One piece that caught my attention was Aspenth, Bridge to Phantom. That one meant a lot to me because uh, I started really using Phantom when Tweak showed me how to like bridge like my Phantom tokens over and onboard and actually use Phantom ecosystem. Um, I think every artist on Phantom Network, it means a lot to us because without the artists, without the devs, we wouldn't have what we have now. So I really appreciate all of you guys. Um,
Man,
we're all investors, holders, and without you guys, none of this would have been alive. And it's nice to see it unfold like right before our eyes. Everything is like organic.
yeah.
So that's what excites me the most.
Well, that was a good kumbaya moment. I believe it. I believe everything you just said is the truth. Um, Now, I don't think all the artists are great. I don't think Classifile is necessarily the best. Just kidding. Besides the scammers out there, if you want to bring
Yeah.
your scam project, your scam board apes, whatever you want to bring over, we don't want the scams. But everything else, people trying to build, people, I mean, the artists, like on Tombheads, even the ones that don't get the appreciation, maybe their stuff doesn't sell very much, the ones on FAC on Fridays who are just starting out, like keep making your art. Even if the buyers aren't there yet, keep making it, keep getting better, keep progressing. Just like the projects that are out there. Maybe you're not seeing the success yet on, the development side. You're building something, you're frustrated with the lack of growth. I mean, I know for Potluck Protocol, like we're always in a frustrated state of like, man, we've got to get better. We've got to keep producing better quality stuff. And so that's really what I love about Phantom the most is that community aspect. And Tweak, you were talking about this in a tweet yesterday or the day before. You were talking about how in marketing, in building this network, it's not about, oh, the foundation needs to do more or somebody needs to do more. It's like there's not like a marketing team that's going to come save us. It's each of us onboarding people into this ecosystem, onboarding people into Fantom NFTs, onboarding them into DeFi. And once people experience it, they don't leave. They just don't. And so I know, Tweak, you said you've onboarded, countless people. And I think your tweet said if we all just onboarded like 5 people, we would change everything. And I know I've done my part, and I'll continue to. But how important do you think that is to the NFT growth and just the ecosystem individuals? All of us taking the time to actually onboard people ourselves.
Oh yeah, it's huge. I mean, we didn't invest into Phantom because, they were such a good marketing company. You know, we would have bought Ethereum Max or something. We're here for the tech, and, they brought a blockchain that's really fast and cheap. What more could you ask for? Um, there's definitely a learning curve, maybe connecting MetaMask, like connecting your NFTs, and I feel like you just help a few people out, and then it's kind of spreading slowly.
There's just so much immense value like in this ecosystem. Like I had a friend that only like use Ethereum ecosystem, and then the complaint that he had was um, gas fees are so expensive that he can't even do anything. Like after onboarding him on Phantom, like it was like eye opening to him because now he's able to like farm, uh, participate like on auction houses, uh, buy NFTs for like what he could afford. Um, yeah, because transactions are so quick, so cheap that he can do like a lot of things instead of just buying and holding. So
100%. I
and
mean,
yeah, and then experiencing that, it's really eye opening.
it is. I mean, it really takes crypto from being this thing that's like, oh, this might be a risky, like crazy investment where I don't even know what's going on, to once you actually experience it, you have a MetaMask, you're able to transact, you're able to do transactions quickly, inexpensively, that's when you start to realize the antiquated financial systems that we have right now, and how systems like and blockchains like Phantom can help fix those things, and how DeFi is so far superior to traditional finance. And so, but yeah, I think for us on the just wrapping up this topic and just kind of going into our last little section here, I think we each also, if we're in the NFT community, we need to work hard at bridging other communities over, having them come experience, especially from Ethereum. People that are in AVAX and Sol and Matic and Harmony, and they're in those NFT spaces, they're there because the same reason we're here is because it's cheap, and they realize, man, I can actually do something over here. And so, yes, bringing them over is good, but it's bringing the masses who are stuck in Ethereum, which is only usable for whales. I think that's where you're going to see explosive growth in DeFi and the NFT space is once those people experience Phantom. So, lastly, here, what's our last topic? What's coming? What's coming? So, this is where we talk about the upcoming mints. I wanted to drop this on Twitter before this. I was hoping last night, but just getting all the details, getting the minting website, getting everything up the way we needed it to be. It'll be here in just a couple hours. We'll drop it. But on Friday, we have a huge mint coming up. It's Bush Doctor and Kavarders. Their first generative done together. The art is incredible. It's a smaller mint. It's only 500 pieces. It'll be 25 Phantom each. So I don't know, like Tweak, how many Bush Doctor pieces do you own? And do you own Kavarders too?
Yeah, I honestly haven't kept track of the numbers, but I do have his number one for Bush Doctor, and
Ooh.
at least like I would say probably like 7 or 8 or some if I had to take a guess. And Kavarders, who's very, very underrated as well.
Yep.
Yes. Yes, extremely. So their project, I'm going to be now announcing it, posting everything on Twitter. You'll also see that we've got Plot Twist did a great job on updating our minting website. So you can actually you'll be able to go ahead of time, look at it. And we're not going to release that address for the website yet, but I'll release it on Twitter later, and it'll highlight the project even a lot better. And so super excited, but a little bit of alpha for that. And we've already taken the screenshot this morning, so I'll announce it now. And moving forward, this is pretty much what we're going to be doing is we took a screenshot of everyone that holds all 4 of the Potluck Labs projects. So if you're a holder of all of our projects, you will be able to purchase a day before everyone else. And then on our mint party day on Friday, that'll just be, there'll be no white listing or anything. It'll be the general public at the exact time of the launch will be able to mint. And so whatever's left from the Potluck Labs holders, we'll be able to mint then. But also, if you hold any Bush Doctor or Kavarder pieces, any of their 2 collections on PaintSwap, you will also be able on this one to be able to mint a day before. And so I expect Tweak to pick up quite a few of those. Now, Dan90, do you hold either of their projects?
Yeah, Kavarder, Bush Doctor.
Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you did. You probably have everybody that's any
This
good.
is a really cool generative because it's not a character thing like anything other ones. It's very on its own, very Bush Doctor and Kavarders-esque.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of refer to it as like fine art because I don't know another term, but it's like high end, high quality art. That's just how I think of it. So, super excited for people to get a chance because their pieces sell for a lot. I mean, if you look at Bush Doctors, his floor is 300 Phantom, and there's only 2 for sale because people buy them at auction and they don't sell their pieces. And Kavarder is very similar. People buy them at auction, they don't sell because it's high end art. And the quality of the generative, you're not going to realize it's generative. You're going to be like, oh, this looks high end. This looks like a 1 of 1 that they would do on Tomb Heads. So absolutely incredible. And I think I can go ahead and announce Gen 2. We've got something really special planned for the actual functionality of how the mint is going to go and how everything's going to work. But I'll just tell you that we're adding a 3rd artist to the mix, and it's going to be Bush Doctor, Kavarders, and Chas Guy. So super excited. If you know their art, you're going to be blown away by what you see. So any other thoughts on that one, Tinfoil?
No, I'm super excited about it. Like I said, it's something different. It's not what you've typically seen as a PFP project or anything like that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Again, it's one of these things that I like the ability to attempt to get these guys, these one of one artists' names out to more people, and to
Yeah.
give people the opportunity to own their pieces for fucking really cheap.
Sorry, my daughter's trying to dox herself here, trying to keep her out of camera. So, hey, next week we have an incredible mint. It's going to be a really inexpensive mint, and you're going to get 4 NFTs for one. 4 NFTs for one. I think it's going to be 13 Fantom. It's crazy. It's super cheap. But we got Ned Peppermint, who's new on the scene. I love the name, Ned Peppermint. It's just like the coolest name. And so he's from down under, and he's got these incredible birds, but it's called the fat birds. An incredible character. He's already got Gen 2 being worked on. Super excited. But just to introduce people to him as an artist, we're starting super inexpensive on the mint. And then what we're going to do is create a real experience at that mint party where we're also going to be releasing, you get not only his NFT, but you get a Steven Vinyl music NFT, and you get a Triton music NFT. So you're going to get those 3 in one. And then also the Ned Peppermint ones will come with a matching banner. So you'll have a Twitter banner plus the PFP plus a Steven Vinyl plus a Triton for 13 Fantom. Are you kidding me? It's gonna be awesome. So we'll have a DJ up in the house. They'll be playing their music for the first time. It's gonna be super fun. So that's happening. We also we've got a lot. We've got something called the Rat Pack, and then the Rat Pack Mafia is actually Gen 2. But that's a project that with Zombie Stiltskin as the artist, it's going to come into kind of the Potluck Pigs family, and we've got an amazing storyline attached for that. So another reason you need to own pigs. But that mint is coming up 2/2/22. We have Teens on Acids Astro Kid collection, which 10, I mean, your thoughts. I know that you think that's going to be a staple, like a signature.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an immediate blue chip, like immediate. Yeah, I'm super excited about this one.
Yeah, if you see the custom pieces he made for us as a team, I don't know if you saw that on Twitter tweak, but he made these 4 custom pieces for each of our team members, and those custom pieces were made out of the generative options. Like he just literally, it's like, hey, go pick the ones you want. And so that's the quality of the generative, is that type of stuff. So it's going to be incredible. Super excited about that. We also have Phantom McCong has been working tirelessly for like 2 to 3 months on a generative project for us. Going to be a very cheap mint, a large supply, just like his other project, but it's the Pekong Bats. And so Potluck twist to it. Incredible art. We'll start promoting that. There's a lot more that I can't talk about, and there's our Gen 2s coming up, but just super excited with all those. Did I miss anything? Tinfoil, anything else I got to talk about?
No, just make sure you're holding our Gen 1s because there's a bunch of surprises coming real soon.
Yeah, there's surprises for all 4 Gen 1s that we have so far. So if you're like, oh,
snapshots are getting taken. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So snapshots are being taken. We're not going to tell you when. We just keep telling you better hold one of these. And when we're ready for the surprises, they will come. And so super excited. Dan 90, Tweak, any closing thoughts from you all?
Thanks for having us on the show. It was real fun.
Yeah, thank you guys. It's my first show. So
well, you both did awesome. You provided a ton of value for one.
I got some notes to go back on now.
Yeah, I definitely do as well. And so I learned a lot on the farming strategies, some things I didn't know. And, and I feel like I know a lot about DeFi at this point, and I learned. So I know that our audience learned a lot. Also, Tweak, thank you for all you're doing on Twitter to bring awareness to the space. I mean, like about to be, I don't know, 10,000 followers or so out of nowhere. And it's because of your consistent support of the network. And it's not just like bull posting that's just like, hey, Fantom to the moon every day. It's actual value for people, and letting people know what's happening with the network, what's coming. So dude, thank you so much for all you're doing there. That's what moves the space forward. And so really appreciate you, man.
No problem.
So I think we're done. I think we got enough NFT alpha. We ran a little over. Sorry you got 10 minutes of extra alpha this week. But Tinfoil, I guess we're signing off. Check us out on Twitter. We got a lot coming up. Share this video with anybody in the community, and we all win together. It's not about Potluck Labs. It's about bringing more attention to the Fantom NFT space and supporting all these great projects. And with that, we're onboarding people into DeFi, and everyone in Fantom wins when the awareness of Fantom goes up and people experience the network. So we're going to have another special guest next week. We'll announce that on Twitter. Thank you again, Dan90 and Tweak. It means a lot that you take the time to be with us. And so, as for all of us at Potluck Labs, we'll see you next time.